Daily Devotionals with open hearts and open minds. First United Methodist Church in Pueblo, Colorado presents Hope and Coffee with Pastor Hugo Venegas.
Hi, welcome back to our daily devotions, and we're going to be studying Genesis chapter 6 through chapter 12, and we're looking for hope. We're trying to see where hope is. So I'm going to begin by looking at Genesis chapter 6. You can pause and then read it, or you can just follow along with me. Genesis chapter 6, and we're going to read verses 1 all the way to verse 10. And it says here, "When men began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they were married, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with man forever, for he's mortal. His days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children with them, they were the heroes of old, men of renown. The Lord saw how great man's wickedness on earth had become, and that very inclination of the thoughts in their heart was always evil. All the time it was evil. The Lord was grieved that he made man on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. So the Lord said, I will wipe mankind, whom I have created from the face of the earth, men and animals and creatures that move along the ground and birds of the air, for I am grieved that I made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. This is the account of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth." Now, I want you to see the context in which we're going to see hope. The context that we have here is a passage that is very confusing. And I'm not going to try to solve the confusion, but I'll show you where the confusion is. Now, we see that we have the sons of God mixing with human, beautiful women. And out of that mixture of angels that we talked about in a previous study, angels and beautiful earthly women, the Nephilim were born. These were giants, and they constantly did evil, but they did good things. They were heroes, they were warriors. Now, some scholars, some conservative scholars believe that the Nephilim were not the descendants of angels and women, because they're saying angels are asexual. They're not gender specific. So if they're asexual, then they couldn't have any kids with women. So they're saying the sons of God, it's not referring to angels. That's what some commentators believe. There are other scholars who say, yes, they are indeed the descendants. The Nephilim are the descendants of earth. Now it gets more confusing, because if the flood happened and everyone died except Noah and his family, then why later on in the Bible we see Goliath, we see the Anakites? These are the giants. And some scholars would say, wait a minute, the flood was not global, it was a local flood. It happened in the Noah's neighborhood, in his territory, in his country. It was not a global flood. Do you see? That's a problem. That's confusing. Now, to make matters worse, what's happening here? We can agree that there was a lot of evil. There was decadence. Decadence is when a society and a nation falls morally. They go way below the line of tolerance, and they go into deviousness, they go into wickedness, and there's a lot of violence. And in the midst of this is where we see the context of hope. Now, I want to show you the first face of hope. God is going to destroy creation. God is going to wipe everyone out. He regrets that he ever made humanity, and he's painfully upset. And then in the midst of all of this, he's going to destroy the earth. But then in verse 8, he says, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. That is the first face of hope. I want you to write it down. The first face of hope is walking with God. The only reason God spared Noah and his family because Noah walked with God. Do we want hope? We have to walk with God, folks. And walking with God is having intimacy with Him. It's praising Him. It's expressing our gratitude for the blessings that we have. It's praying. It's adoring Him. It's obeying His commandments. It's getting involved in the things that matter to God. That's what it means to walk with God. So it doesn't matter what's happening in our world today. It doesn't matter what's going on. The question is, are we walking with God? If you want to have hope, regardless of whether our planet is falling apart, walk with God. That is the first phase of hope. When we walk with God, He is with us no matter what the world may bring. Hugo Venegas from Pueblo, Colorado. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us for our daily devotional, Hope and Coffee, with Pastor Hugo Venegas. If you enjoyed today's devotion, like or subscribe below. We also welcome you to join our family at First United Methodist Church in Pueblo, Colorado. You can visit our website at firstumcpueblo.org, and we hope you continue to have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow.